Take a look at HOLX, top gainer on the S&P today, reporting a beat on the top and bottom lines in the company's fiscal Q4, mixed guidance for current quarter, and announcing plans to enter into a stock repurchase agreement worth $500 million. Joining us now, HOLX CEO Stephen MacMillan. Thank you very much for being here.
Thanks for having us.
So just to kick things off, what do you think are some of the key tailwinds that you're experiencing right now?
You know, I would call it we're getting rewarded for what our team did during COVID. You know, our team showed up every single day. We invented the highly accurate molecular COVID tests. And I think that created a strength that allowed us to also place more Panther instruments, which our molecular tests will run on. And now, as that has gone down, our Panthers are picking up all the additional revenue from our usual businesses. So all of our women's health assays, and it also strengthened the company financially across our breast health business, our surgical business. We did a few acquisitions. We invested more in R&D. So I think now the dust is settling, and what we like to think is the cream is rising to the top.
And yet you still have about $4 billion in cash or cash equivalents on the balance sheet, which I know a lot of people have questions about capital allocation. You announced the $500 million buyback, but any M&A that you're looking at doing, any kind of strategic use cases for that $4 billion?
Yeah, we've been very patient. What I've always thought is when you have a really strong business, and our core business just grew 15% last year, when you have a strong business, it allows you to be patient in the M&A world. And so we've been looking at a lot of things. Valuations are correcting. But frankly, with our growth rates, we need things that can be even better than that, and it makes it a little bit harder. So part of why we did the buyback, the $500 million announcement, is it's really an acquisition of ourselves, because we actually have good due diligence on ourselves and like what we see.
I wonder if you've been entertained by the street's urgency in writing playbooks on weight loss drugs. I mean, impact on restaurants, impact on apparel, obviously dialysis, medical device.
Yeah.
Why do they want to jump to Chapter 10?
Carl, you know, you've been around this long enough to see. I think there is so much focus anymore on headlines versus core fundamentals, right? I'll go off of HOLX for a second. If you look at why would orthopedic stocks take a big hit because of the GLP-1, suddenly people think, okay, wait, there's not going to be as many knee replacements. I mean, these are years. But people react to headlines. We've even seen it on, sometimes headlines will hit on a particular study or a USPSTF guideline where there's a quick hit to a headline that has very little fundamental impact on the business over the next 5 years.
Is it, I mean, yeah. But is it a move toward efficiency where we start writing playbooks and theses faster? I don't know. Maybe it's efficient markets.
It may be. I think there's also, you know, I think there's some efficiency within that. I think there's a lot of inefficiency
for a reason.
Yeah, you know, I'll give you an example. Earlier this year, the breast health guidelines were modified. The USPSTF years ago had said women should wait till they're 50 for some of the mammograms. They came back to 40 because we found out a lot of women were getting diagnosed with breast cancer in their 40s. The morning that news came out, our stock was up like 6% in 5 minutes. You know, it was positive for us, but it's an overreaction. So yes, there's efficiency, but I'm not sure it's as efficient as we might hope.
How much competition do you see from some of these services that are offering, say, $2,500 to get your full body scanned for cancer and other diseases that you might have? Is that a growing market in your estimation? Or?
I think it will be. You know, clearly that's a lot for the very high end, and you know that's called more of a niche market. But anything that leads to increased diagnosis is great. The single best thing, and what I love about being at HOLX, is early diagnostics is a win for everybody. It's a win for the patient because we catch it earlier. It's a win for the healthcare system because it costs less. And so the more that we bring more science into diagnostics, so if you think about it, there's still a lot of art involved in medical diagnosis. And what we're trying to do between our enhanced imaging, whether it's in breast cancer, our fibroid, testing, and as well as all of our molecular testing, it's bringing greater certainty. So we're taking the guesswork out, and that will certainly create the great opportunities for the future.
Fascinating. Steve, thank you. Appreciate it.
Oh, thanks for having us. And by the way, thanks to all of our employees and my father-in-law on Veterans Day.
Oh, yes. You got a nice tribute at the Open this morning.
I saw that.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.